Here's your wrestling news for November 27th, 2025. Your headlines for today include Logan Paul explains what he wrote on his hand during SmackDown. Fans aren't buying it. Seth Rollins sparks backstage anger. WWE locker room reacts. Andrade drops Bombshell, claims release linked to Charlotte Flair, medication warning, AEW, lawyer problems, and 12-month clause. Survivor Series WarGames will impact WrestleMania 42 main event, major update. WWE star accused of no-selling finisher and crying for hours, shocking claim. John Cena's influence on Zack Ryder's WWE return revealed. Tragedy strikes, Kaylie Guerrero brutally attacked, and more. Logan Paul is no stranger to scrutiny, but his latest WWE appearance at the Ball Arena in Denver on November 21st sparked a wave of jokes and speculation after fans spotted something unexpected: promo notes scribbled across his hand. While the internet had its fun, the Maverick addressed the moment directly in his November 26th vlog, leaning into the jokes with full sarcasm and a dramatic reveal. During SmackDown, Logan stood in the ring alongside Paul Heyman, Braun Breaker, and Bronson Reed to open the show ahead of WarGames, but instead of focusing solely on the promo itself, eagle-eyed fans zeroed in on something else entirely: the writing on Logan Paul's palm. In his vlog, Logan mockingly held out his hand, and the camera zoomed in to give fans exactly what they'd been asking for: a close look at the so-called cheat sheet written in thick black ink. The phrases shown include: "The Vision equals future," "CM Punk is trash," "Brock Lesnar," "Jake Paul is greater than AJ," "Drink Prime." Of course, fans immediately launched into a new theory that once he realized cameras had caught the original notes, Logan washed his hand clean and rewrote a fresh comedic version specifically for the vlog to throw people off. Whether the notes were legitimate, improvised, or part of a clever troll, one thing remains clear: Logan Paul knows how to control the conversation, even when the entire story is literally written on the palm of his hand. Andrade El Idolo is finally speaking out, and his version of events paints a far more complicated picture than fans initially realized. Following reports that he could be sidelined for up to a year due to an alleged contract breach, Andrade has now confirmed that WWE did in fact enforce a 12-month no-compete clause, and claims that the company triggered it after he showed up in AEW. During an interview with Los Protagonistas, Andrade walked through the full timeline, the personal issues that shaped his decisions, and why the situation spiraled once his marriage to Charlotte Flair ended. He explained that his return to WWE in 2023 was never just a career move, it was tied to his family life at the time. "I returned to WWE a year and a half ago. I was happily earning millions, but I was married. My ex-wife's name is Charlotte Flair, and the idea was to return to WWE, to be with her, and many things happened. We got divorced, and I was not comfortable in some things." Andrade also revealed that he received internal warnings about certain medications and supplements, items commonly used in Mexico, but restricted under WWE's wellness guidelines. "We have certain restrictions because of doping and things like that. I was also a little annoyed." According to Andrade, WWE initially agreed to his release without friction, but everything shifted the moment he resurfaced in AEW. That's when, he says, the company enforced a clause his lawyer completely overlooked. "The contract I signed, the lawyer did not realize a clause of 12 months without competition. At first I didn't have clause, I could fight leaving WWE. Then the clause came when they saw me debut in AEW. Complicating things further, Andrade says that because he previously shared an attorney with Charlotte Flair, he can no longer work with that lawyer. With new legal representation, he's now negotiating directly with WWE to shorten the enforced downtime. He confirmed that talks are active and progressing. "I'm going to be 3 months inactive, and I can't compete worldwide. My lawyers are already talking to the WWE lawyers. They have reached a good arrangement. I think I have a date, and my lawyer too, but it remains for WWE to officially sign it." He admitted he could take WWE to court, but doing so might keep him out of action even longer and generate massive legal costs he'd rather avoid. "We can fight, we could go to court, but the lawyers told me the process may be longer. They're trying to negotiate so as to not go to court." For now, Andrade says he's keeping his time and routine simple until WWE signs off on the final agreement. "Well, now it's nothing more than getting ready, waking up, having dinner, training, going to the beach, sunbathing, more than anything, not thinking about that." At the moment, Andrade's return is entirely in WWE's hands. Whether he's back by winter, early next year, or later depends on when the company finalizes the revised terms. What do you think about WWE enforcing a 12-month clause only after Andrade appeared in AEW? Should he take the fight to court, or is negotiating the smarter move? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Enjoying the video? A quick like goes a long way in helping us grow and deliver more wrestling news you care about. Survivor Series 2025 isn't just another stop on the calendar, it's the launch pad for WrestleMania season, and WWE appears ready to hit the accelerator the moment WarGames wraps up. According to Ibu from Self-Made Pro, WWE is preparing to reveal its WrestleMania 42 main event direction immediately after Survivor Series. Ibu noted that sources within WWE told him the company plans to make their top WrestleMania matchup clear during the week of television that follows the November 29th premium live event. I'd been told by someone close to the situation about 2 weeks ago that the plan was to make WrestleMania's main event clear coming out of WarGames and on the week of television following Survivor Series. Ibu compared the strategy to a similar move in 2023 when WWE quietly set the stage for Roman Reigns vs. Cody Rhodes at WrestleMania 40. That year, the two met face-to-face during the fall SmackDown season premiere, subtly confirming the direction months in advance. I'd imagine it'd be similar to when they had Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns face off on the fall of 2023 SmackDown season premiere to tell you that was still on track for WrestleMania 40. This year, WWE is working with one of the most stacked men's WarGames matches in history. Roman Reigns, CM Punk, and Cody Rhodes are teaming up against Drew McIntyre, Brock Lesnar, Logan Paul, Bronson Reed, and Braun Breaker, a lineup that practically guarantees at least one major WrestleMania storyline spark inside the double cage. With names of this caliber in one match, the outcome could easily determine the path to the main event of WrestleMania 42, whether that's Roman Reigns vs. CM Punk, or Braun Breaker vs. Brock Lesnar, or an entirely new collision the WWE Universe never saw coming. Who do you think should headline WrestleMania 42? Will WarGames set the stage, or do you expect one more twist before the dust settles? Drop your predictions below and let us know who you're backing for the biggest match of 2026. Seth Rollins didn't mince words. In his view, not everyone in today's WWE locker room is driven by passion for the business. Speaking on Something's Burning with Burt Kreischer, Rollins openly addressed what he believes is a growing reality in the company. A noticeable portion of WWE's main roster treats wrestling strictly as a paycheck rather than a calling. With WWE increasingly recruiting athletes from outside the wrestling world, Rollins said the level of genuine passion simply isn't what it used to be. It's a paycheck, right? It's a job, so there's plenty of people that'll do the job if they're getting paid to do it. Rollins did acknowledge that some newcomers eventually develop a real love for wrestling, but without that passion, he believes it's impossible to survive long term. Look, some people turn to it and they learn to love it after it becomes a love, but I don't think anybody stays in it for a career if they don't love it, because it will wipe you out. He described the business as physically and mentally punishing, stressing that only those who truly love the craft can withstand the grind. Even though today's schedule is lighter than it was in previous eras, Rollins said it's still demanding enough to expose anyone who isn't fully committed. It's a painful, as you see, physically and mentally draining experience. Now the schedule's way lighter than it used to be. We still travel every week, but we're not doing nearly as many shows. Rollins also reflected on his earlier years alongside Becky Lynch when they were working well over 200 matches a year, a grind he believes would break anyone who wasn't genuinely passionate about wrestling, and he didn't hold back on assessing today's roster. But yeah, there's plenty of people I would say now on the main roster that don't really have a love for it necessarily. Rollins' comments have sparked a bigger conversation about WWE's evolving talent pipeline and whether the company's recruiting philosophy is shifting toward athleticism over passion for the craft. And according to new reports from Dirt Sheets, Rollins' statements did not sit well backstage. His remarks have reportedly become a hot topic and a controversial one in several private WhatsApp groups among current WWE talents. At this point, we'll have to wait and see whether any of this tension spills over publicly in the coming days. Do you think passion should matter more than raw athletic potential when building WWE's next generation of stars? Or is it acceptable for some performers to treat wrestling purely as a job? Sound off in the comments. We want to hear what you think. Lacey Evans didn't stay quiet for long. After Becky Lynch publicly downplayed their feud from 2019, Evans fired back once more, this time taking direct aim at what she sees as hypocrisy and backstage behavior that fans never knew about. During an appearance on Something's Burning with Burt Kreischer, Lynch reflected on the period immediately following her WrestleMania main event and called her storyline with Evans a major step down. She didn't soften her words when explaining just how drastic the drop-off felt. "I started working with Lacey Evans right out of the gate after WrestleMania 35. God bless her, but she wasn't, for me to go from the main event of WrestleMania to somebody who hadn't done anything was terrible." Those comments instantly reignited old tension, and Lacey Evans didn't hesitate to respond. Taking to social media, she accused Lynch of backstage theatrics and claimed the man would never say any of this directly to her face. "Don't hate the player, hate the game. The only person who cried more than you was the baby I had on my hip while taking all the opportunities. If or when I come back, you will still do nothing but gently shake my hand and say how cute my little family is backstage." Thanks to X, the old rivalry resurfaced with even more behind-the-scenes insight. When a fan jokingly asked Evans to put Lynch in the Cobra Clutch, Evans replied that it would just make her cry again. The fan then suggested she finish Lynch with a women's right, Evans' finisher. Evans claimed that she did try that once, and what happened backstage was far more dramatic than anyone knew. According to Evans, Lynch spent 2 hours crying backstage before the move was even delivered, and when it finally came time to hit the women's right, she says Lynch didn't sell it at all. "I tried. She cried for 2 hours, then no sold." Evans didn't elaborate on the exact incident she was referencing, but she hinted that Lynch has, at times, gotten right back up after taking the women's right, something fans have pointed out during WWE broadcasts. Whether she's calling out the booking, Lynch's reaction backstage, or simply adding fuel to their renewed disagreement, Evans made it clear she wasn't happy with how things played out. This exchange adds a fresh layer to their long-running friction. Lynch's comments about their past storyline clearly reopened a wound Evans has held on to for years, and judging by her latest responses, she has no intention of holding her tongue anymore. Did Becky Lynch cross a line, or is Lacey Evans justified in defending herself after being publicly downplayed? Share your thoughts in the comments and tell us whose side you're on. Zack Ryder's surprise return on the November 14th edition of SmackDown sent the WWE Universe into a frenzy, and now the story behind how it all came together has finally been revealed thanks to Chelsea Green. Speaking with Adrian Hernandez, Green explained that Ryder's comeback wasn't a sudden opportunity. In reality, it was the result of 5 straight years of persistence. She revealed that Ryder stayed in regular contact with WWE throughout his entire time away, constantly updating the company and making sure Triple H knew he was available, especially when Royal Rumble season rolled around. According to Green, the timing finally felt right because Ryder has a genuine friendship with John Cena, making this the perfect moment for him to return. He's been in contact with WWE constantly. The whole 5 years he's been in contact with WWE. He's always making sure that Triple H knows what he's doing or that he's available for a Rumble and things like that. I just think it was a perfect storm. This made the most sense because he does have a personal friendship and relationship with John Cena, so why wouldn't he want to be John Cena's final opponent? But it wasn't just Ryder pushing for the comeback. Green made it clear that she and John Cena were both relentlessly nudging WWE to make the moment happen. After enough pressure from all sides, the company finally gave in. And so it worked perfectly. Between me pestering WWE, John Cena really pestering WWE, and Matt pestering WWE, they caved and it worked. That's what I'm saying. You've got to keep asking. If you don't ask, closed mouths don't get fed. We get all the f***ing grease. Ryder ultimately lost to LA Knight in the Last Time Is Now tournament, and because it was a one-off appearance, fans won't be seeing him again, at least for now. But the reception to the return made one thing clear: the WWE Universe hasn't forgotten Zack Ryder, and if the opportunity arises, there's definitely room for another comeback down the road. Eddie Guerrero's daughter Kaylie is recovering after a frightening and unexpected injury that left her badly cut and shaken. Earlier this week, Kaylie Guerrero took to Twitter and posted an emotional video of herself in tears, her face covered in blood with a deep gash across one of her eyelids. In visible pain, she winced and said, "It burns." The video quickly circulated online, prompting concern from fans who wanted to know what happened. When a follower asked about the incident, Kaylie explained that she had leaned in to kiss her friend's sleeping dog. The sudden movement startled the animal, which reacted instinctively and caught her across the eye. Kaylie called it a painful but important learning experience. In a later update, she confirmed that only one eyelid required stitches and that doctors expect her to look fully healed in about 2 weeks. She also shared a Day 3 recovery photo showing significant improvement and reassuring fans that she's healing well. Animal-related accidents can happen in an instant, and Kaylie has faced the situation with composure and gratitude. Fortunately, her medical team expects a full recovery, and she's already on the mend. Don't miss our next video coming at 5:30 p.m. Eastern with all the latest wrestling updates. Smash that bell icon and select all notifications so you're always in the loop.